here I go coming. I can't ever stop, I'm a tour de force running. Get me to the top, I don't need an invitation. I'm about to start a celebration, let me in. Brought a good time plus some friends. Turn it up loud past 10. Turning up the crowd when I hit them with the power.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, friends.
Good evening, everyone. How are you guys doing?
Doing great.
Good.
How are
good.
you?
Well, welcome to Three Cocktails In. I am Amy Flick. I'm here with my two very best friends, Kitty Hart and Stacey Bartles. And we're going to work really hard tonight to bring you yet another addicting conversation between friends who have been there, done that, and still want more. So let's get to the important part. What is everybody drinking tonight? Cocktail. Stacey, yours looks pretty good. What is it?
I tonight have my Fresca.
Okay.
With Deep Eddy's grapefruit.
Oh,
and
grapefruit.
A little lime. There's the lime.
Nice. That sounds rather healthy. To be grapefruit.
I haven't had one of these for a long time. It's pretty good.
It's refreshing.
I think of that as a summer drink.
Out on the boat.
I know.
Yes.
Well, I'm jiving with you. I'm vibing with you with the grapefruit because you guys know Sauvignon Blanc is my white wine of choice. So that's what I have in my cup this evening.
So nice.
Yes.
I'm feeling the need for something a little warm and cozy. So I went with a gin and tonic.
Oh, wait. That's also a summer drink.
Gin smells like sometimes Christmas trees, fir trees to me. So that's the warmth part of it.
Oh, okay. See, it's all perspective. It's all perspective.
That's right. So what's been going on this week? What's new? Anything exciting?
All is stable.
Yeah.
Oh,
I find that to be my answer a lot lately. Everything is stable. That's really good.
That is good.
Yeah.
So, Kitty, you were just coming in pretty hot off of a jewelry show tonight. Did that go well?
Yes, it went well. So I had to move my schedule around. So my day job, I have a commitment tomorrow night. I usually do. So for those of you who I've mentioned before, I have this little side hustle. I do live jewelry shows on Facebook. My normal schedule is Tuesday and Thursday night and Saturday morning. I had to shuffle that around. So I did a show tonight at 6, just wrapped up at 7:30, went up, touched up my makeup, coming in hot.
Ooh, yeah. So I think I'm going to use this as a little bit of a segue because what I want to talk about tonight, and please do not be offended. This is not directed at you. That's always a good sign, isn't it? When somebody says, no offense.
Don't be mad.
No offense.
But
so I saw a quote a while back, and at first I was like, huh. And then I laughed, of course, because that's what one does. And then I got to thinking about it. And the quote was, sit back, relax, and let the ship sink. And I find this to be a very, very interesting thought. Mm-hmm. And I think that it's something that a lot of, let's say women, but it's not only women, but a lot of people could really use a little discussion about, especially as holidays are coming up, as we talk about fall and things like that. The whole idea of doing everything you possibly can, or always being in charge of everything, or being the planner. What does that phrase mean to you? What do you guys think about that approach? Do you adopt it? What does it mean? Let the ship sink.
Okay, so now that you say it, I've heard it before. And I guess what it means to me is when you know, or how I take that is that when you know that you've done all that you can do and you don't have any control, let it happen. Let it happen. Whatever is going to happen. But you have to be okay walking away. of your favorite phrases that I've picked up, or I've picked up from you, is "not my circus, not my monkeys."
Yes.
One, and I would kind of put these two together. How I interpret it, I guess.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, for me, it's the same thing when I say it is what it is, and you know, I know being the overthinker and the overplanner, you know, even at work, we started saying this, you know, maybe 6 months or a year after COVID. You know, we tried to all the strategy we could, planned as best we could, made decisions that we could with what we knew at the time, and then we would just say, well, it is what it is. You know, we organized and planned and did everything we can, but then at the end of the day, it's going to be what it is. You know, and so I don't like it. You know, I don't like it because I always think I, you know, have everything planned out and I've thought of everything. But at some point, just like you said, Kitty, you just have to let it be what it's going to be. And it is what it is.
This is really, really interesting to me because that's not how I take it at all.
Okay,
I take this to mean that I am not responsible for every last stinking detail. You know, I can think about when the girls were little and we would go on one of our girls' vacations, and I, honest to God, would write a complete itinerary before I left. I went to the grocery store so they would have food. I washed all their clothes so they would have clean clothes to wear. I cleaned the house so they could have a clean place to play. I arranged play dates. I did everything. I had that sucker down to the minute. What? Why? Why did I have to do that? Why did I think that I was responsible? It's exhausting. If you're going to work and you're the family planner and you want to go do something, you know what? Let the ship sink. What do you think about that?
Well,
hard
so
to do.
What did you say, Stacey?
Hard to do. Hard to let it sink.
Letting it, that feels very like I don't care, which isn't the case in that situation. So finish laying out this scenario. So we would go on girls' weekends. You would get everything set.
Yep.
You'd do the menu planning. You'd get everything set up. When you came home, how was everything?
I had wasted time because the fact of the matter is they ordered pizza. They ate macaroni and cheese. They had pancakes. They went to bed with their jeans on. I know for a fact one time I came home and instead of combing out the snarl in the hair, it was cut out. But you know what? They had a grand old time.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think the post that I read when this came up, or when I saw it, of course, because I saw it online, it was something about friendships. If you're always the friend that has to plan everything, and you're the one side that's doing everything, you know what? Maybe you just got to let it go. See what happens.
Yeah.
You know, the phrase that I liken it to on occasion is, have you guys seen the chart where people draw it out on the chart in the line, and one side of the graph is fuck around and the other side of the graph is find out? And the more you fuck around, the more you're going to find out. To me, those two are tightly interwoven. You know what? If I don't do it and nobody cares, fine. You know what? Or if you do care, but you're not willing to do anything for it, let's see how that goes.
Exactly. Yeah. So, you know, when when I apply this to work situations over the years, over the 20 plus years, I can think of situations where you've been, part of a team, supposedly you all are working toward the same goal, but there's always somebody that isn't quite all in, right? Or they're not pulling their weight, or they're doing things that you just kind of look at sideways, like interesting decisions this person is making. And in those situations, I've come to look at that and say, you know what? They're making their own bed. They're digging their own grave. There's nothing, I can say to them, you might want to do this, but they may or may not listen. So then you just kind of back away and you're like, what's going to happen is going to happen in that situation. And you need to just let the ship sink. Mm-hmm. Acknowledge, not my circus. And this also reminds me of Mel Robbins' just let them philosophy.
Yeah.
Just let them. Which is probably what you came to when you realized when you came home, they were all fine. The girls were fine. They're
totally
happy.
Fine. They're totally fine. Yeah.
But that's how you showed love, Amy. That was your care to them. That's why you did that.
Well, interesting. As you talk about showing care, I think it's very much also control.
Yeah.
And Anne Lamott, author, public speaker, activist, she had, I don't know if it's a series, it's an essay or something, but she is often quoted as saying, help is the sunny side of control. So as we do things because we think we're helping, what we're really doing is trying to control the situation. Yes. And I will say, for me, when the girls were young, I felt completely out of control. 3 kids under 5, a dog, eventually a second dog and a cat. And I felt completely out of control. And so me trying to write the agenda for the whole week, that was all about me. That's the reality of it. It was all about me. It wasn't about them. And it took a long time, and it's taken such a long time to recognize that, people tell you all the time, you're not responsible for somebody else's feelings. You're not responsible for whatever. Well, I think especially moms, get into this headspace that they're responsible. It's their job, and they want to be in control of everything. I mean, think about those people that do everything for every holiday, as we talk about holidays a little bit.
I saw a funny clip, in Reels, as I'm going through all the Reels I listen to occasionally. There's this comedian, Nate Bargatze, I think is his name. Yep. And he had a funny one that I just saw this week that was, to set it up, he said, it was the beginning of the school year, and the school called him to find out what bus his daughter was supposed to be on. And he goes, wait a minute, I'm the dad. Did you know you called me? I'm the dad. How am I supposed to know that? You thought to call the dad first, not the mom. And that's exactly it. We, keep track of all the stuff, whereas, just so we feel like we have it under control,
Yeah. I don't know when it kind of dawned on me that it was unrealistic for me to be in charge of everything. But I did get it into my head at some point that I'm going to teach the girls how to do the stuff for themselves. So by the time they were in 5th grade, they all could do their own laundry. They all knew how to cook 3 things. They could cook an egg. You know, we have the recipe in the family, Nana's spaghetti, which is basically macaroni noodles and tomato soup. It's really delightful. And as they continued to get older, I taught them, you know, they'd want to go do something. Oh, Mom, I want to get my hair colored. Can you call? I'm like, nope. If you're old enough to have your hair colored, you can call. Make your own appointment. This car needs an oil change. Well, you get online and you find some place. Well, can't you do it? Nope, I'm not going to do that for you. And so, you know, I think that by the idea of letting the ship sink, I think it's also a really good thing to model behavior for those around us. Because sometimes you got to fall flat on your face.
Yeah.
We're not, and I'm not suggesting, you know, I don't know. I'm not trying to say let the big presentation go down the drain.
No.
But you know what? You can leave for a weekend. Somebody will figure out how to wash their clothes, or they'll wear dirty clothes for the weekend.
Yeah.
Your partner probably knows where a grocery store is, or a Target, DoorDash. They have a cell phone. You're not responsible for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a matter of figuring out what's really important. You know, what's important and what's not so important, and try to balance, you know, what you really can control, you know.
Can you hear that? Did you just hear I live downtown. I had a lot of traffic down there. What do you do though about the friend group, or the one friend, or you know, the family that absolutely refuses or wants to participate, and then says, well, hey, how come we're not doing that this year?
Well, there may have to be an uncomfortable conversation. Because the person they don't have any idea that that's what's happening, that they've, you know, relied on one person to be that planner and the organizer of everything. Sometimes that just sort of evolves over time, and then all of a sudden it's just, well, this is the way we always do it. Well, so it's probably an uncomfortable conversation.
Yeah. So with my other girlfriend group, besides you girls,
whoa,
I know.
Oh,
you all know that, and you have other friends as well.
Fine.
We got to the point where we, you know, not necessarily running out of things to do. Oh, so I should set it up. We get together once every month, and we do a variety of things. So we've decided that we split it up. Everybody has, obviously, 2 months, you know, offset, and you can plan whatever you want to plan. You know, if somebody doesn't like what we're doing, they don't go. They have an opportunity not to go most of the time, you know, unless schedules get crossways, you know, everybody goes to whatever we're doing. But then it at least puts it on, you know, away from just one person trying to decide what to do. And when it comes up to your month, you know, you get to decide where we're going, what we're doing, you know, that kind of thing. So that's an idea. But yes, because it absolutely should not fall on one person to always make, you know, all the plans. And when they, you know, don't want to, someone else needs to step it up, or you spread it out.
So, Stacey, listen to me. Hello, Miss Stereotype. I almost said, are either of your daughters the planners? But you have 3 children and you've got a son.
I know.
I know.
I would say all of them very big planners, including him. In fact, when he got married, we kind of called him Groomzilla because we felt like he was the one making a lot of the decisions, you know. So it was interesting through that time how, you know, how much they planned together. You know, it wasn't just my daughter-in-law. So that was interesting. But yeah, they're all planners. They get it naturally, you know. They want it all perfect and planned out and, you know, have a hard time when it doesn't, you know, go their way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's say we let the ship sink, so to speak, and it doesn't go the way we would like it to go in our heads.
Mm-hmm.
Do you say anything? Do you jump in the next time? Do you learn to just, you know what? Go with it?
I think it depends. It depends who is in this little scenario. There might be, like, if it was something around here, I probably would say something. You know, short of saying, I told you so, because I don't like to be that person. But, you know, you might be compelled to say, see?
Yeah.
But
yeah. I guess the other thing that I got to figuring out was when you let the ship sink, you learn it's another one of those scenarios that you learn about yourself. Where's your level of tolerance? Does it really matter to you how it gets done?
mm-hmm.
And does it matter what other people think about how it gets done?
Mm-hmm.
I know when my kids were really, again, I'm coming back to being a parent, but that's where I felt a friend just posted a picture of her kindergartner's school pictures. And the mom wanted her to retake it because she wasn't like overly happy with the smile. And the daughter's like, no, I love it. I love it. And the mom's like, okay, we're going to go with it. And I got to post that my darling middle daughter, Georgia, I think she was in first or second grade, and she came home with her school packet. And lo and behold, she had a fishing rod over her shoulder.
Oh.
I didn't even know that somebody could pick out a prop for their school photo. But here's this little girl with a fishing rod over her shoulder. It's just the biggest grin. You know, she was just so dang happy
they had
about
props
this.
at school?
I don't
know. I don't remember Bo ever having props.
Well, I didn't send her to school with a fishing rod, for God's sake. And she didn't even like fishing. That's what's even funnier about it. She didn't like fishing. So I asked her about it. I'm like, you know, as I'm smoking, I'm steaming. That,
you're
you know, in my mind, how come the room mom didn't take that out of her hands? Who was watching her? Who let them pick from props? Oh, I was seriously worked up about the whole thing.
Amy, okay, why were you mad at that? It's a school picture that now you can look back on it and say, oh my God, wasn't that hilarious?
Yes, super funny. And I can tell you why. My first thought was, oh my God, she's going to cut these pictures out and she's going to give them to her friends and they're going to show them to their parents and their moms are going to go, what the hell? Why does Georgia have a fishing rod? Just like I did. But then, you know, it didn't bother her. She was happy. She loved it. She had a beautiful little smile on her face. But it was about me again.
Yeah.
It was about this worry of being judged by other people if it didn't go right, if it didn't go the way everybody expects it to go.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see an overriding theme here in a lot of these episodes?
Yeah.
Expectations.
Right.
And if we go back to the one where we talk about things we don't apologize for.
Mm-hmm.
God, this has got to be the best thing about aging.
Yeah.
Is that you just kind of don't care anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You realize whose opinions count.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just so freeing. It's so freeing.
Yes. Yes. You know, that the whole idea of the judgment and things. We've talked before about some of the different podcasts and stuff we listen to. One of my other favorite people is Brene Brown. And she does lots of TED Talks. She's written multiple books. But this woman has studied shame.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I would like to commend her and her parents and her family for when she was going through college. I didn't even know that you could have a career based on studying something like that. One, that blows my mind, you know, but as I said, I went to school to get a good job. Let's compare our jobs. Let's not compare me and Brene Brown. But she has this quote that, and I'm trying to find it. Just forgive me for a moment while I scroll because I do have it here. Perfectionism is a self-destructive and addictive belief system that fuels this primary thought. If I look perfect and do everything perfectly, I can avoid or minimize the painful feelings of shame, judgment, and blame.
Yeah.
I think that gets to the core of why we plan everything, why we take on too much, why we feel the need to make sure everything is okay for everybody else, because we're capable. Clearly, we're capable, even at the detriment of our own mental health. We're capable. And what does it say about us if we let it go, if we don't do all that and things don't look good from the outside?
That's a pretty significant burden.
I think so.
It is. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That is unnecessary. It's an unnecessary burden. Which I think is why it feels so freeing to get to the point where you can say, it's okay. You know, I know that my house is not clean. But we're doing the best we can here.
Yeah.
You know, with the time that we have. And there are many days that I'm just like, this is just going to be the way that this is for a while. And when I do have some time, then, you know, yes, we will address some of the things that need to be done around here. I mean, I'm not saying that our house is a pigsty, but you guys know what I mean, right? Yeah. It's never, you know, sure, I would love it to be somebody walks through the front door at any given time. Anybody that's a surprise visit. I would love for anybody to be able to pop in and open the doors and my house looks like, you know, Architectural Digest anytime. But so it is freeing to be able to just say, this is me. And I don't care.
And to still throw open the doors and welcome in whoever wants to come in, because they're there for you. Mm-hmm. They're not there for your house.
Yeah. And if they're judging, then are they really my friend?
Right.
Nope.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We do put unnecessary pressure, I think, on ourselves a lot. And then you're right, Kitty, it's freeing to just, you know, get rid of some of that.
Yeah.
So as we typically do at the end of every show, we offer up 3 shots of something to try. Do we have any shots to try of letting the ship sink in the coming days? Do you feel overwhelmed? Do you feel like you're doing too much? Do you have a holiday coming up where you have always been the planner, the one who, does everything?
Yeah, see, well, so I'm thinking
go ahead.
Well, I'm thinking about that now, and I feel like because we always go to my parents' house, so they're always the ones that are doing everything. We just show up. So now I feel like we're probably those people that are the ones. There may be an uncomfortable conversation this time around, But I mean, of course, we help. But
yeah, I have a funny story. On again what's important. So every holiday, that my family has, it's always, my mom and my sister-in-law and me in the kitchen, making everything, getting it done. And then one of us will make some comment like, wouldn't it be nice if the guys would at least do dishes, right? And we say it in jest because they'll never do it. But the funny thing about it, the last couple of years has been my dumb brother. His suggestion, so helpful, is, well, why don't we just use paper plates? Which plates are the least of the worry. They go in the dishwasher. Have you ever tried using a paper pot or a paper pan? Right? So not helpful, but that's it. We all, have a lot of things, that we feel like we need to get ready and do, and it has to look a certain way, so that's going to be the challenge, is what can I find to, downsize the planning and the, everything up front.
I took advantage of I want to say it happened to be around the separation divorce time. And specifically with Thanksgiving, I am the only one in the family that likes turkey. Nobody else likes turkey. They all want ham. And I would say, okay, what do you want? What do you want? And one year, if I would have listened to what the menu was, what they wanted, this is the thought going through my head. We would have had ham, cheesy potatoes, coconut cream pie, and deviled eggs.
That sounds like that's Easter.
Yeah, that's Easter.
Right. And so it made me a little irritated that that's what they wanted, and I was going to have to make it. And I said, you know what? You decide what you want to make and bring. I am going to make a turkey breast, and I will make the ham. Anything else that you want, you bring it. Here's the group chat. You decide. Mm-hmm. And they're like, oh, okay. And sure enough, somebody made the deviled eggs. Somebody made the cheesy potatoes. Madeline loves to bake, and her fiance loves to cook, so he showed up in the kitchen, and that was good. But I've kind of taken that approach at all these holidays, is like, it's not just up to me. Mm-hmm. Why? Let's start this whole theory early on. So I strongly encourage any of the mamas out there, any of the stay-at-home people, anybody who's in charge of the kids, you know what? Give them a job right now. Give them a job. They need something to do it well, to make themselves feel good about, to be part of the group. Get it off your plate, so to speak. And you know what? If they want to eat spaghetti on paper plates because they don't want to, deal with the plates, let's see how it works. Let's do it. Yeah. Let's eat it. Let's go. That's
been the nice thing about, as our kids get older and our adults, they do actually help, That's nice and new. They do contribute. So.
Yeah, but it shouldn't take on them till they're adults to figure that out.
No.
But boy, they do when they have to start paying for stuff. So, all right. Were there any other shots that you wanted to take for the upcoming week?
Episode 1, I said that I was going to reach out to people I haven't talked to in a long time.
Yeah. How's that going?
Yeah. And so I'm going to report back. The first one I did was a friend that, moved away 20 some years ago. It's been a long time. I've seen her maybe twice since then. And what made me think of her is it's a small world because her niece hired my daughter to do a project, for her. And so that's what made me think first. So I said, oh, well, I'm going to reach out and see how she's doing and whatever. So that was a fun little connection. And another one was, by a roundabout way, when we launched our first podcast last week, she, commented behind the scenes, about the podcast. So that was a fun catch up. The third one that I reached out to, was because, so the first two, which is funny, they're both named Amy. And so I reached out to my fourth Amy friend, right? And she hasn't replied yet. So I'm still going to work on that. So we'll see. So that's my report.
You're working your way through the alphabet.
Yes.
Starting with all the Amy's first.
Yes, starting with the Amy's, and then we'll work on to the B's and the C's. Yeah, see how it goes.
That's awesome.
That's my report.
I also will report back because Stacey, you said you were reading more. Yes. I have put my phone down at night. I am attached to that dang thing. I've put my phone down, and in the last 3 weeks, I've read 2 different books, start to finish, and I'm on my 3rd tonight, and I'm loving it. And I do have over the years read quite a bit, but I've gotten out of the habit in the last year or so. So I sleep better when I don't have that phone on right before I go to bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good. Good job, you guys. I need to.
Kitty.
Making me feel bad.
No, you've just let the ship sink. You weren't going to worry about it.
Yeah.
It's not,
Yeah, that's it.
There you go. Yeah. Not going to be.
Yeah, we all claim to be very busy, but I don't know that we're as busy as you, Kitty. So you get a pass most of the time.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I think that's going to wrap up our conversation about letting the ship sink. I'm sure we all would love to know how you, the listener, deal with feelings of being overwhelmed or needing to control everything. Have you let the ship sink? Are you going to try and let the ship sink? Do you believe in letting the ship sink? I think you should leave us a comment. If you've got friends who need to let the ship sink or family members, tag them, share, like, share, subscribe. We'd love to hear what you have to say about all this. And as we do every week, let's end it with, ladies,
cheers. Cheers. Bye-bye.
All right. Woo. Look. I got that wow. Who wants some hands up right now? We got that. Turn it up loud. I know you're wondering how. I got that wow. Here I go, coming. I can't ever stop. I'm a tour de force running. Get me to the top. I don't need an invitation. I'm about to start a celebration. Let me in. Brought a good time plus some friends. Turn it up loud.